So y'all boy Akademiks continues to be a Drake glazer. All right. Every single chance he gets, he makes up excuses as to why Drake hasn't been producing on the charts, as to why Drake didn't lose the battle. He even thinks he won the battle when he didn't. He clearly lost. So he talks about on the stream about, the reasons why Drake didn't sell this and didn't sell that, and he's going to be back on top of the charts in no time. So let's check out this video.
Is the run of Drake over? I do want to be very honest, and for you K-bots, don't clip me, just get out of here. I ain't really talking to y'all. But I am going to be honest. I do think two things is happening. I think Drake is in an interesting period, but I do think the music industry is in an interesting period.
Here we go.
I think the reason why Drake doesn't have a song on the Billboard Hot 100 is because Drake hasn't been entertaining or not entertaining. Well, what? Entertaining, but that wasn't the end of the sentence.
Yeah, he struck.
Drake ain't been fucking.
Look at him struggling to make up an excuse. Look at him struggling
with his label like that. Okay, which is kind of odd because they gave him $400 million, right?
So now it's the label's fault.
Drake has been doing his own thing ever since this whole beef with, and he's always kind of done his own thing. I'm gonna be very fair to him. I've just heard notoriously Drake hits up his label a week or two out saying, I'm ready to drop. And if they had other releases, they move those releases back. Unless they.
And what could the issues be with the label, given the fact he signed a terrible deal? He got to put out way more albums and tour a lot. He's in one of the worst deals ever. He's in one of them terrible 360 deals. So he got to put out. He signed a $400 million deal. So he has to put out a lot of music. So I don't want to hear this shit talking about, he having issues with the label. The label probably having issues with him.
They tell him, obviously he's with the Republic. If they tell him, yo, big dog, Taylor's dropping, of course, and he's rap that, like he would change his shit. But everybody else just moves out the way for Drake.
Yeah,
that's how he usually operates with his label. Ever since his beef with Kendrick, he's operated even less with them, like almost.
How you know?
Almost that? Like niggas moving like he's an independent artist. Now, this is the odd part of it, right? Not only is he, his label has zero. And by the way, I got to give a little bit of a crash course. These guys are signed to major record labels: Drake, Taylor Swift, Post Malone, The Weeknd. They're going through Republic, even Nicki Minaj. As popular as these people are, and yes, if they just dropped a song right out of the blue with no planned label support or the labels, enticing the DSPs to show support, they're all going to make the charts because they're that big of an artist. But to continually stay on the charts and to really get a number one or get songs that's in the top 40, it's a reason why I don't know if, like back in the day, they used to have this thing called like,
bruh, I thought Drake's the number one hit maker. That's what he said on the songs. They need me. People need me. So you mean to tell me you can't get on the charts by yourself because you need the record label? But I thought it was Drake. Drake's the number one guy, right? So if Drake's the number one guy, how come the number one guy can't crack a top 10 right now? He put out about 6-7 songs. Well, he dropped 100 gigs, and a couple of them made the top 100, but they was trash. It was trash. Now look, for the first time in over 2 years, there are no Drake songs or features charting on the Billboard Hot 100 this week. He had previously charted every week since 2022. How come it just stopped? Because people not fucking with dude like that no more. I'm telling you. Got nothing to do with the labels, bro.
Pop music was basically top 40 music. So a song that consistently charted in the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100, it was considered pop. Didn't matter the genre, it was considered pop. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it was popular. Popular mean most people would know, on average, the top 40 songs that were popular in the country. Now, that definition has been eradicated by a few reasons. Number one, you'll see some of these guys drop songs, and because it's streaming, they'll be number 3 on the charts just for the debut week. Then it'll drop to like 87, right? So a top 40 song doesn't necessarily mean it's a pop song anymore because streaming has just changed the whole landscape of things. So let's talk about Drake again, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of Drake could drop a song and chart. We've seen him chart. Maybe you thought he's charted a little bit lower than what you thought, because clearly we do know when he dropped Scary Hours 2, all three of those songs charted 1, 2, 3. Right now, granted, that was a planned release, but he's been doing this 100 gig thing where he's kind of like dropping music kind of through the website and through Instagram. Then it gets to DSPs. But I think his highest charting song was, I think, No Face. That was 20. That was the highest charted song. All the songs did chart. He dropped 5 songs from my belief. So SOD didn't get put up, but
and No Face was cool. I like No Face, but I just don't think them songs was good though. I think he put the music out as like fillers, right? He's trying to feel his way around. Can I drop a mixtape? Can I drop a little EP? Can I drop an album? And he's putting these things out as fillers, and people not feeling it, man. The industry and fans have turned on this dude. I think the beef showed that. They're not fucking with him like that.
Circadian Rhythm, Red, Blue, Green, No Face, and what's the other one? Oh my god! It's Up, right? And am I missing another one? Yeah, No Face, Circadian Rhythm, It's Up, Red, Blue, Green, and there's a fifth one, the one with Lotto, House something. Yeah, it's still charted, right? Those are his lead songs. He's had features on a few people's, Camila Cabello, 2 of those.
Didn't do nothing.
2 features on Gordos, and even this new song is that like a corrido? I don't know. Like it's a Mexican artist, it's a Mexican type music, but he's featured on it. That's a feature. So he's dropped 5 lead songs, right?
Trash.
That had he's only peaked at 25. So let me give you a really just honest breakdown what I really.
And once again on this this person needs me, this person needs me, right? How come him being featured on those other artists' songs didn't make number 1s or top 10s or top 20s? It ain't. How come him being featured on their songs didn't make them shoot up the chart? They're not fucking with him. That's why.
I really think. I think the music industry's fucked a bit. I think Drake is a little bit distant from what he hasn't committed to dropping anything, and he's testing out the waters. But it doesn't look good for him, right? It doesn't look good for him because what we have realized, and whether you want to call this a knock, and this is where the K-bots are like, we're gonna clip this. I can't wait till you say we're gonna clip it. It's fine. It's like we're watching Superman bleed. Like this is, and I hope you understand the analogy.
Superman,
like Kendrick and Drake have never been in comparison to potency on the charts. Kendrick and even Cole, they've never been compared. Like this guy's like literally, like he's 2 or 3 times bigger than both of them.
I mean, he got a whole big ass machine behind him, bro. He got 20 people writing for him. What are we talking about? Yeah, not saying that if Kendrick had 20 people writing for him that he'll be just like Drake. Not saying that. Drake is an amazing talent. He's damn near the number 1 rapper of all time or some shit based on streaming. But would he be like that if it wasn't streaming? I don't think so. I don't think so. He would sell a lot of records, but I don't think he would be where he's at because of streaming. Streaming changed everything. All these billions of streams and they got writers, bro. That's an asterisk.
These days, we're seeing Superman bleed because we're seeing Drake as human, right? What does that mean? Without his label, without a planned release, he can't just get up like he used to do and just be like, yo, 3-pack out at midnight, run it up. And what I mean by that work, we're not talking about him being number 25, which, by the way, would be fine for every other artist. That would be amazing for every other artist. But we're talking about Drake. Drake is a guy when he drops, we expect him to be in the top 20,
and he hasn't
top
been.
10. Drake at this moment, I don't think that's where he's at. And I think he's cognizant of that. Now, does it mean that if he announced an album coming for, or let's talk about the obvious, right? Because that's going to be also a testing ground, right? Him and Party Next Door. Honestly, never mind the 206 first week. What are we thinking that Drake and Party is going to do?
Under 200.
Now, remember, honestly, never mind gets the pass because it's a record that's a house project, and we know Drake is a hip hop, R&B, urban artist.
Under 200, bro.
Also pop artist by just sheer enormity. But what will him and Party do? Him and 21 Savage at 400. Let me ask this question.
Won't you? Yeah.
I think
Party by himself ain't moving numbers. Party by himself is not moving numbers. It makes sense that before the beef that Drake and 21 did 400K. 21 is I wouldn't say a big artist, but 21 puts out good music. Let's say that. So them two collabing, it did 400K the first week. Cool. That artist is before the beef, though. This is before the beef, before the fall off. All right. Drake next album should be the fall off, and Cole need to find a different name. Before the fall off, all these numbers happen. Party Next Door and Drake is not doing 200K plus, bro. It's not happening. It's not happening. Under 200K. I would say between 100 and 150. And if that does that, that's a flop. And I want him to come on here and call it like it is. It's a flop. Because when Kendrick put out the Big Steppers album and it did 290 something, he called that a flop, which is crazy.
if Drake doesn't do 300 with him and Party, he looks human. And I have to keep saying human because
what?
Drake had a run, I would say, for since 2013. He had a 11-year run where actually really 2012 because it started with the feature run where he's issuing the stimmies, right?
He was that
my
nigga,
boy was
bro.
issuing the stimmies. It's over. So 12-year run of seeming like he wasn't human.
Nigga human, bro.
There's no other artist, and I mean absolutely none in hip hop that has been that potent. There is no Kendrick Lamar stimulus package. There is no J. Cole stimulus package. There is no even Nicki Minaj stimulus package. And when we're talking about,
you cannot keep saying that when he was on other artists' records and those records are flopping. You're speaking in past tense, homie. Those artists' songs that he's on ain't did nothing. It ain't give him no kind of boost. All right? Stop saying a stimulus package. It used to be a stimulus package. Now he's just like everybody else. I guess that's to his Superman point. I just hate him saying that he's Superman, but he's regular now.
About stimulus package, I'm not saying that them being on someone's record doesn't help, but Drake has been known to bring you to the moon. Drake has been responsible for a lot of the world knowing a huge amount of artists just by how much he was doing the world star effect Drake stimmy. Like we're talking about Young Blue, we're talking about Block Boy JB. We have a list of artists that I don't even think there's any other artist in rap that even has 2 or 3. And Drake has probably close to 20. So if you think about that, and this is what I always say, because here's the thing when I have to criticize Drake, because I do have to criticize him. Like, that's my fucking job.
You don't criticize him enough.
No, I'm going to have to criticize him when I need to. But my criticisms of Drake is saying that Drake's competition numbers-wise was never Kendrick. Like, he's outclassed that guy in every way, shape, or form. J. Cole, too. Drake is competing with his former self.
What?
So that's why I use the terminology where we might be watching Superman bleed. Right? We're watching Superman bleed. Because
see, that's a losing ass argument in my opinion. Because this whole situation, the beef and all that, was never about numbers. It was supposed to be about hip hop, and then Drake started talking about people's wives and all this other stuff. So it got dirty. But it was never about numbers. We all knew Drake is the number one guy as far as numbers go in hip hop history. We know that already. But this narrative changer, Akademiks, always talking about numbers. If you look at his DJ Akademiks TV Instagram, oh, Drake surpassed 1 billion views, and fam, nobody gives a fuck. Put out good music. The songs he used in the beef was trash except for push-ups. Facts.
There isn't a world that we see Drake dropping a project. And by the way, he didn't drop a project this year. So it's not one of those years like he's doing a Young Boy or a Young Boy method or a what's Young Boy method, or who else who drops like multiple projects in a year, or Young Thug like method, where we would excuse Young Boy for selling 60K because we know, like, bro, he's kind of spamming right now, right? So it's not like, he's like, I'm this is the only project you're gonna get. And anytime he did that for albums, we know his album sales went crazy for Young Boy. And then for Young Thug, there's a long time before he got to the point of doing like the was it No More Fun or whatever, that he wasn't really selling over 100K, right? He was just kind of like doing these 30Ks, 40Ks, or whatever, but until he started quality controlling it. If Drake and Party Next Door doesn't do 300K first week, now what's my prediction? Let's say they drop in the next month or so. Honestly, my hope would be 350 or 325.
No way.
I think what happens is if Drake does 280, now granted, some of this is his own fault, right? So this is like a really.
There's no way in hell Drake and Party Next Door doing 350. Not right now. No. If he do, Akademiks just said he set the bar at 3. He set the bar to me at 300K, right? He said 350, whatever. Let's say 300K. He's setting the bar. It's going to do way under that. And I want him to come on here and say it was a flop. That's a flop.
Really complex conversation.
For Drake.
Anytime I think when people see me criticize Drake, they just start going crazy. But anytime Drake, Drake dropping a project with 21 Savage and doing 400K, he should be doing 800K. I just keep telling you, the nigga don't drop vinyls. He do nothing. The nigga he literally just, like, he's been so really red hot, lightning, white hot popping for so long time. He just throws the shit out. Travis Scott is selling everything, nigga. He's selling stickers. He's selling socks.
Fake album sales.
Toe separators. He's selling pocket protectors. He's selling keychains. He's selling everything, motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? Because he, part of his brand is kind of showing that these numbers are, enormous, and this wave of feeling like you're in this Travis world, this astral world, if you may, is a wave that includes a lot of crazy numbers. Drake, I feel like he just doesn't give effort. So when he sold 400K with when he sold 400,000 with 21 Savage, I felt that could have been 600, 700, or 800 if he had put some effort into it, announced it properly, sell some vinyls. But he doesn't. Like, this dude's doing everything off streaming. To put things in perspective,
600-700.
I just want to show you something which is going to go into another point I have in a little bit. Let me see.
At the end of the day, Drake fell off. That's basically what it is. Constantly through his academic streams, he making excuses as to why Drake not doing this and Drake not doing that. And he living in the past. The Drake we knew before is not the Drake we're going to know moving forward. That Drake is gone. And Kendrick unalived that Drake. But anyway, please leave a like button. Really would appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next one.